Bayou, born on the bayou.
I haven't really looked at this one.
Oh, hey,
I've
there I am.
I've gone back and forth multiple times to try to make sure I had it for the stream, but I haven't really looked through the devotions or any of the scripture reading.
Oh, I got you.
See what it looks
Dude, it
like.
looks all right.
Talking about the stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute it because I can't handle hearing myself in stereo. That's a little weird.
Yeah, yeah. I just needed somebody to be watching it in case like the screen messed up or whatever. I
I
got to
got
get
you.
out of the habit of turning and looking at my secondary screen.
See, I don't have that problem because I actually have the crack in between my screens directly in front of me, and so my main screen is just to the right, and my secondary screen is just to the left.
All right, gotcha.
So I don't really have that specific problem, but anyway,
Hang up and
bro, open it up.
I'm not gonna lie, this is weird looking at this on a computer compared to being on your phone for so
I
long.
know. I'm trying to follow along, but I'm also like, man, that's really tiny writing. Hang on, let me full screen it. There we go. All right, we're gonna follow the same format. I'll read the devotional. You do the scriptures.
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. Start off with. We may change it along the way, but let's see what
Work.
happens.
That works for me. All right, just for some background, I'm the one who actually picked this devotional. You picked the last one, but I picked this one because I am personally going through a period, not a series, but a period of professional anxiety. I have had a lot and lot of stress at work for the past, I'd say maybe 6 months, and the anxiety detox sounds like just exactly what I need. But also, we are going through some very peculiar times in the world we live in. I don't know if any of y'all have heard of this coronavirus that may or may not be going around, but that's a thing. And I know that it is a very stressful thing to deal with. So I figured this could be a really healthy thing for a lot of people to hear in this time. So here we go.
And
Let's
just
just
so everybody know this is out there, the individual you hear, his name's amazing. He's one of my best friends. Been my best friend since high school. Obviously, if you're on my channel, you probably already can read. Hopefully, you can read and see what my name is. But we just wanted to put this out there. This is something that we came across and started doing. We got a huge boost in our walk with Christ and just our
enormous.
daily um, peace and joy that we found doing this. And we just wanted to make this available for anybody. Even if you don't go through it with us, just put it out there so people know about it. Um, but for anybody that does come in here afterwards and watch the video, we want you to understand that we're not going to try to push religion in your face. Anybody's welcome inside this channel or Amazing's channel as well. We just want to have gamers a place, an outlet where you can go and hang out and share issues you're dealing with and struggles, and just know that you have a place that won't judge you or laugh at you or anything like that, but just simply try to help you as others have helped us in the past.
Yeah, definitely. Solidly said to make it alliterative.
Yup.
So let's
So,
see here. Go ahead, go ahead.
all right, you go ahead. I wasn't going to say
Ah,
anything.
I was just going to start in. So let's start in with the devotional. In the context of Second Corinthians, not 2 Corinthians, Second Corinthians 10:3, Paul talks to us about spiritual warfare and our necessary role in destroying every obstacle that stands against the truth of Christ. This includes the thoughts that arise from the opposition, the thoughts that arise in opposition of our faith. But taking our thoughts captive and living by the Spirit rather than our flesh is easier said than done. Half of the battle of anxiety is realizing when you're entering the battle. And I'm going to pause super quickly here and just highlight that, even though it's already bolded. I had no idea what dealing with anxiety was like. I just remember one day I came home and like it was late. I was tired. My kids were already in bed. And I like almost just broke down crying and I was like, what is happening? I don't know what's happening. Like I've had and looking back, I've experienced similar feelings previously in my life, but just knowing that like this is what anxiety is was very, very enlightening for me. And knowing that, okay, this is a thing that, not just me experience, other people also experience this. And I found literally just the identification, like that sentence says, realizing when you're entering the battle. I found the identification of understanding when you're entering a period of anxiety to be extremely enlightening. But this is mainly because our fears and insecurities feel so true. We tend to go along with whatever pops into our heads. There's one thing that we must get down today if we are truly going to start breaking free. Just because the thought exists does not make it true. Go ahead and speak this to yourself. Just because this thought exists doesn't make it true. Whatever that negative thought is, doesn't matter. That one right there, yeah, that one you just thought, yeah, not true. This is your reminder that you don't have to believe everything you think today. You have this incredible God's given skill called metacognition. Metacognition. Oh, hey, sweet.
Hey, photo for all. Thank you very much for the follow.
That was that was my wife.
Oh. I never would have thought that was her based off the name.
You wouldn't actually. It's actually pronounced pho, but we didn't know that at the time, so we went with pho for all. But that's the Vietnamese noodle dish that we both have discovered is
Oh,
amazing. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
I
It's
have to
so good.
increase my text. I thought that was a T. That's an F.
Yes, that is an F. Oh, four. Yes, F.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, sorry for derailing everything here. Metacognition means you have the ability to think about your thoughts. This means you can pause, momentarily separate yourself from your thoughts and begin to discern what's healthy and what is not, and discard the following. So here's the action plan. Work through anxiety in these 4 steps. First off, identify the trigger. What is causing you to react? Start pinpointing the event or individual that keeps triggering your emotions. Ask yourself, why does this have so much power over me? Is my anxiety about the situation appropriate or created by my own fears and insecurities? 2, write down the thoughts that follow. Write down everything you're thinking. I will admit I have not done this. Um, Write down everything that you're thinking. Analyze those thoughts and be the judge. Ask yourself, is my thought process rational? Is it being led by the spirit or led by fear? Note the reaction. What is your first reaction in response to the trigger event? Ask yourself, how does this make me react? What is a healthier behavior I can exchange this for? Example, praying, journaling, exercising, deep breathing. I have personally found deep breathing to be extremely physically relaxing in addition to prayer. Um, that's one thing that I know has helped me immensely. Uh, Bring yourself around to the reality, choosing faith and weighing your anxieties against a more likely truth. At this point, you separate yourself from your feelings, whether that be by journaling or talking through them with someone else, and begin weighing the more rational reality. Think of 2 other ways you can view the situation. Let's read today's prayer. Today's prayer, Lord, help me become more aware of any thoughts that do not come from you. And that
Yeah.
is that is a definite reality that we live in because we live in a physical world that we can see, but Christians believe, we believe that there is also a spiritual realm that is surrounding us that we cannot see. And it says in the Bible that this spiritual realm here on earth is the principality of the devil. And so that means we are literally living in his home turf, so to speak. Not to say that God's not bigger and that God's not stronger, but God has temporarily allowed this domain to be populated and controlled and overseen, I guess is the word I'm looking for, by the devil. And so we are we are in we're basically in his home court. And he has the ability to tweak how we perceive things. We think that with free will we can do pretty much whatever we want, but I personally believe that the devil has sway over our feelings. He has the ability to implant negative thoughts in our heads and make it sound like it's coming from yourself, but It's it's definitely something to be very, very aware of, in that there are thoughts from you, there are thoughts that could be not from you, and then there are thoughts that we need to have, which are from God.
And at the end of the day, the biggest part of that is what thoughts do you act on? And that's what
Hmm.
that prayer is going back to. And I really like that part, that that prayer touched on that, because to me the devotion really didn't seem like it really mentioned um, spiritual warfare,
It didn't.
which is a good way to tie it all together.
Yeah,
One thing I've heard in the past was that if you're having issues like sleeping, let's say you're thinking about things you have to do the next day, especially if you're in the context of worrying that you're going to forget something, if you would just take the time to make a list, then it will allow your mind to rest easy, knowing that you have something you can just look back to and not have to worry about forgetting something. That's one reason why a lot of people, when they go grocery shopping without a list, they are just frantic and bouncing all over the place.
bro. Worst decision I ever made. Going to the grocery store without a list and hungry.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest mistake I would say for grocery shopping, is going there hungry, because
Oh yeah,
unfortunately our hunger exceeds our wallets.
bro. Yeah, I think I need 6 packs of Cheetos. Yeah, okay, let's do this. I could eat 6 packs of Cheetos by tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Especially if you have the mentality where I've never really done this, but I don't have a problem with people doing it. But like you're gonna buy something, so you go in there and you grab it off the shelf and you start eating it on the way through, which might
I
actually be better, because by the time you got to the last aisle, you're pretty much full. So maybe you would stop on a few aisles.
See, I actually don't do that, and I know people that do, and like I understand the mentality, but I am just like, having been raised by my parents, I'm super hardcore conservative about that. Like, if you haven't paid for it yet, it doesn't belong to you yet. And again, I'm not in any way knocking anybody that does this. If you intend to pay for it and you're going to pay, blah blah blah, okay, sure, open your chips, have some chips. It's fine, okay. Like, you're not stealing, but I personally am like, I'm not going to do that. But I also, like, I get it, and
Just
that is
to
a valid point. I mean, you may end up like not spending as much money because you don't get as hungry through the store.
hmm
And don't do it on your grapes because they measure those by weight. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is stealing.
that's active
That's
stealing. Yeah,
illegal. They might actually
we
tackle you for that.
we don't want to do that, bro.
Yeah.
Hang on, can I just like pause super fast?
hmm
Like, your teeth look so good.
I appreciate it.
Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I saw you smile initially. It's like, whoa, dude, his teeth are so white. Oh my goodness, this is absurd.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and like front at all. So, um, I didn't take care of my teeth when I was younger, and I found out later on in life that I had severe acid reflux, probably from just eating what I wanted to and then going to sleep.
Straight to bed,
And
yeah.
it
Like
eroded.
every teenager in the world.
Yeah, it eroded severely these front six teeth. And the way my dentist described it to me is, on the bottom of your, particularly your two front teeth, you have a nerve that comes down and kind of forks, and it goes towards the back of your mouth. And my teeth had eroded so bad that you could actually feel the enamel part where it overlapped that nerve. Um,
Mm,
and I had one tooth that was chipped, and I asked him, was there any way, due to all the erosion, that we could kind of maybe put a crown over it and protect it and prevent it
yeah.
from further eroding and me being in severe pain one day. Well, what he suggested was just go through and put crowns on all six teeth. So did that. You're not going to have fun if you choose to do that, nor is it going to be good for your wallet, but it's worth it in the long run. And then to add insult to injury, I decided to pay, I think it was like $500 to $800 to have my teeth whitened by my dentist. If you ever decide to do that, just understand it's also not going to be fun. You
I
basically
heard.
spend the first 30 to 45 minutes of them playing a puzzle in your mouth with cotton and trying to pack your mouth. You, I'll put it this way: you will have so much cotton in your mouth that it will feel like your face is numb, like they have like you're
With
having some
no
type of
saliva
surgery.
in your mouth.
But it's because you have so much cotton in your mouth because they cannot let that stuff get on your gums. Um,
Mm.
and a funny story about that. So when you when you go to do that, one thing that they try to upsell you afterwards is like kind of your home remedy of that. It's a little bit stronger than what you see in stores. Um,
It's like a jumped up version of the white strips or something.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But what it
Gotcha,
is
gotcha.
basically you have a retainer, or in my case, I have Invisalign, and you just squirt it from like a little syringe into it, and you're only supposed to keep it on there like 15 or 30 minutes. Well, me being a big dumb male, I came home, took the product out, and set it on the table, and threw everything else that I had away that I didn't think I needed. Well, one of the things that I needed was the instructions to that. For some reason, I thought I heard them say, "Put this in your mouth and then go to sleep." So I did that, and my teeth were white,
Dude.
but I woke up the next day feeling like I had a midget jumping around my mouth all day. Literally,
Oh
like
man.
using my teeth as like keynotes. It was terrible.
Mm.
They were white though,
No
but
bueno.
I was ready to pull them out. So if
Uh,
you ever do that, if you ever get that product, I can't remember what the product's called. I actually have it in my fridge right now, but
don't
do
put it
not
over
leave it
overnight.
overnight. Do not accidentally go to sleep with that in your mouth because you will regret it.
Mm.
It hurt to drink. It hurt to eat applesauce the next day. So you
See,
can just imagine how you felt normally.
I I have heard that even just like plain Invisaligns make your teeth like super sensitive. So if that's like super Invisalign, I can't imagine how painful that was.
No, see, I've had braces and Invisalign.
I said Invisalign. I meant like the white strips.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I think so. Invisalign doesn't hurt you at all. If you don't take
Yeah.
care of your gums and you start having that or braces, it's gonna hurt because obviously your teeth are moving around in your gums.
Mm. Well, I don't know what happened with me, but when I was younger, like I was fanatical about brushing my teeth because I was terrified of getting cavities. I actually remember as a child, literally like crying, praying that God would protect my teeth so I wouldn't get cavities. And like most people cry like about like, normal things or pray for like when they're a kid, like, like God give me a Ferrari or God let so and so fall in love with me or, whatever.
Oh,
But
that
I
latter part,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Hey, it happens. Hey, we all grow. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not praying about not getting cavities anymore, so
Yeah.
but I I remember one time I had a small piece of pepper stuck in the upper portion of my gum on my front tooth, and I thought it was a cavity, and I broke down crying at my dinner table. And my dad was like, "Well, just go brush your teeth." And I'm like, "It's a cavity, Dad." And he's like, "You don't know? Just go brush your teeth. They don't pop up. They don't pop up overnight like that." And I'm like, "I don't know what to do." And it was like the fifth time of him saying, "Go brush your teeth." And finally went and brushed my teeth, and it went away. And I was like, "Oh." But it was very unusual. I was very unusual about my teeth when I was younger.
I wasn't, but God protected me in other ways, and
There you
I
go.
could say story after story, but I feel like I don't even know how we got off on this tangent, but
I paused us and said we needed to. I was complimenting your teeth, and that's my fault.
I mean, on both of us, but I say we go ahead and get back into this, and
Yes, yes.
we can continue whatever type of conversation we want once this is beat.
Actually,
Looks like our first scripture reading is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 3 through 5. Oh, that's so nice that they actually have the verses listed there. On your phone, they don't list that. You just have to,
you have to
like,
count down.
yeah, you have to look really quickly to figure it out. Um, so, for though we live in the body, we do not wage war in an unspiritual way, as the weapons of our warfare are not worldly, but are powerful through God for the demolition of strongholds. We demolish arguments and every high minded thing that is raised up against the knowledge of God, taking every thought captive to obey Christ.
It's not easy to do.
Nope. Went straight into spiritual war.
Yeah, it did. The devotional didn't really touch on spiritual warfare, but this jumped right in.
Next one is Colossians chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faith. Mm, mm.
I was going to say I'm going to
Was
need
there?
a little
Because there was more to that, if I'm not mistaken.
522.
Yeah. So, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faith, gentleness, self-control.
There it is.
And I thought that that was part of that verse, and I knew that that really kind of ties into what we're talking about too, because at the end of the
Hmm.
day, we have free will, and if you do not take that time to ask God for help in that spiritual fight, then you are fighting a losing battle because we are not strong enough to defeat the devil by ourselves.
I know a lot of people think they are. A lot of one of the biggest victories the devil has achieved is making normal people think, or not normal. I say normal people, but like making the average human think that he is a joke, that he is a skinny red person with like scrawny horns and a pitchfork who runs around like poking people in the booty as a joke. Like
Interesting way to
that's
describe it.
I mean, that's like the old like 1920s cartoon version of the devil, but like no, the devil is a very, very real adversary who is not just more powerful than we are, he is more powerful than we are, and he is actively conspiring against us.
Hmm.
He is actively pursuing, and his minions are actively pursuing your downfall. You, yes, you specifically. Me, Soxes, he is pursuing our downfall. And he wants to do anything and everything he can to keep us from gaining or improving or sharing anything about Christ.
I heard something that was interesting from Tony Evans the other day on something I was listening to. It basically stated that God doesn't care that you're in church or wherever you go to worship. All he simply cares about is when you go there, you're not doing it with the intention of growing closer to God. And basically, what I looked at it as ties right into this. You're not going to prepare yourself to put on the armor, God's armor, as it tells us about in the Bible, to fight these types of battles and to fight those in the physical realm as well as the spiritual realm. And it doesn't matter what level of faith you are. We all are human. We all fall victim to that. I know most of us would look at just normal everyday tasks that we see as tedious and just a waste of time and downright, I would almost say, maybe not embarrassing, but unworthy of asking God's help or bringing it to Him.
Bring
But
it to him.
we never need to forget that we're not necessarily asking Him to fulfill that, but just guide us through that and let us see what He would have us to get out of that,
Hmm.
and whatever it is, bring glory to Him. And I feel like with so many different distractions we have in this world now that that idea gets lost a lot of times.
Hmm. A lot of people think, "Oh, this is too small. This is beneath God's notice." Literally nothing is beneath God's notice. Actually, there's a person in your church. Socks and I don't go to the same church anymore. I have moved to a different area, unfortunately, and we grew up in the same church, but we he now goes to the church that we grew up in, and I go to a different church over here. But anyway, there is a person in your church who, on their way to Walmart, will pray that they get a close parking space when it's raining.
Hmm.
Their husband does not agree with that prayer. They think take the exact opposite, and that is something that is definitively beneath God's notice. It is not my parents, by the way.
I got you. That's what I thought of at first when you first said that.
That is not my parents. But they were talking about how they were on the way to Walmart and it was raining, and they didn't want to get wet because they had to go somewhere afterwards, and so they prayed for a close-up parking place. And this is back when my wife and I were dating, and we had gone to my parents' Sunday school class. So it's someone in my parents' Sunday school class, so you know that. And they they were like, the husband was like, God doesn't care about that. And she retorted immediately with, yes, he does. He cares about everything. And I fall on her side of that argument, but
I think
at the same
too,
time,
part of that
yeah,
is it may not truly be any skin off his back that you're asking him for that, but what he is concerned with is why you're asking that
e-
and where your heart and mind is.
exactly. He
So,
wants you to come to him with everything because you have that relationship.
hmm
That's what he wants.
and one thing I was gonna say on the small things, think about if you just let all the small things go in a relationship, whether it
Mm.
be somebody you're dating or somebody you're married. Hey, I'm divorced. It happens. Um, if you let all that stuff go and you do not communicate about it or fall in the habit of tackling that head on, whether that means a simple conversation or unfortunately an argument at times, um, it's just going to build up and eventually there's going to be so many different negative strikes that it's going to seem like that you can't do it.
The
And
snowball's gonna be too big to get moving again or too big to deal with,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And I mean, there always is a thing of being too petty about things. You any type of relationship and love, first thing is you have to relinquish a lot of your habits and tendencies to get upset, but never let it take you out of the habit of bringing to light things that actually are an issue. And that's how God wants to view us to view our relationship with Him as well.
Mhm.
Looks like the next one is Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any moral excellence, and if there is any praise, dwell on these things. Pretty sure that was in one of the.
It was in the last one we did.
We've been doing this for about a week, maybe, actually, probably in total, probably about a month or two
Mhm.
before we decided that it might be a good idea to dwell into just putting this out there and see if others got as much out of this. So you'll probably hear us state a lot that we are seeing things that we've heard or seen before. So
Amen.
it looks to be